Behold the raging void before you, the thunder within your spirit, the burning light that claws through your chest, demanding meaning and strength. You stand at the edge of a moment you cannot fully comprehend, strapped to the rolling wheels of inevitability, forced into confrontations that your bones had whispered against, but your heart secretly craved. Friends call you reckless, fools call you naive, but you, yes you, seated before this screen, will learn whether that wild spark in your eyes is a dying ember or an inferno. You just activated a retired hitman. Enjoy your final 24 hours. The words hang in midair, more fatal than prophecy, more electric than a curse. That phrase is not a boast. It is a verdict. It's not a challenge. It is an arrow aimed at the core of your will. The message has been sent out across the lines of fate. Your time is measured now in heartbeats, in breaths, in hours that will claw into your mind until darkness sings your name. Know this: when you awaken tomorrow, or when you cross the threshold into whatever shadows those hours lead you to, there will be nowhere to hide. No illusions, no bargains, no backdoor exits. But between now and then lies your battlefield. Between now and then lies your chance. Between now and then lies a raw, brutal test of what you are made of. In these waning hours, the world expects your fear. The world expects your collapse. Let them wait. Let them suffer their disappointment when you rise beyond their expectations. Let them taste your defiance. The retired hitman is not just a man. He is an archetype. He is the ghost of consequences, the echo of past sins, the judgment that slumbers until awakened by transgression. He is the shadow you cast on your own soul, the sum of every misstep you ever tried to bury. And now he is awake. Now he is coming. Now your final day has become a corridor of reckoning. Every second is dredged with meaning. Every heartbeat hammers with danger. You might feel the tremor in your veins now. The electric tremor running deeper than panic, deeper than adrenaline. That tremor is not weakness. It is life insisting on volume. It is your spirit opening its voice. Harness it. Let that tremor become a drum, a war call, a pulse you dance to. You were never meant to glide softly through this. You were meant to roar defiance. In the next hours, you will be hunted. You will be measured. You will be tempted. You will be tested. You will feel the cold fingers of dread creeping up your spine. You will see faces you once trusted, shadows in your peripheral vision, flashes of memory you cannot escape. You may believe you see your end down twisted alleys. You may taste its dust in your mouth. You may hear voices that speak you into oblivion. That is the theater of fear. That is the catalogue of doubt. That is the chorus waiting to swallow you. Do not let it. Rise through it. You do not yet know what you truly fear, for fear lives in whispers your mind avoids. You think you fear death, but what you fear is impotence, losing control, losing your story, losing the final gasps of dignity you thought you owned. What you fear is being erased. What you fear is being reduced to nothing while the world moves on without you in its memory. You fear that your last hours will be meaningless, anonymous, silent. So give meaning. Let your final hours be your loudest hours. Let your final hours sculpt your legacy, no matter how brief it turns out to be. Let every beat of your heart tamp down regret. Let every breath be your manifesto. I will be remembered. I will leave my mark. I will show them who I am in the darkness. You have activated a retired hitman, and in doing so, you have triggered the machinery of consequence. You have disturbed the sleep of reckoning. You have stirred the stillness of the grave. That is not weakness. That is not cowardice. That is confrontation. that is standing toe-to-toe with your fate and flaring your stare. You may bleed, you may weep, you may ache, but until you do, you fight, you roar, you resist. Within these 24 hours, you will discover things you buried deep. Secret strengths, blistered scars, anger that tastes like fire in your throat, loyalty harder than steel, cunning sharper than betrayal. You will be tempted to collapse, to beg, to bargain. You may see the paths of escape, false allies, betrayals, diversion, illusions. But remember, death is patient. It waits for your slip. It listens for your words. It tracks your hesitation. It thrives on your doubt. It feasts on your regrets. So do not hesitate. Be swift. Be precise. Be unforgiving with your own weakness. Do not offer mercy to the part of you that wants to shrink, that wants to fold, that wants to whisper please in the dark. Silence that voice with your roar. Silence it with action. Silence it by living those final hours in such intensity that death itself must pause to watch. In your mind now, you draw maps of possibility. You whisper names and reasons. You weigh risk and hope. You wonder, is there a path through this? Is there redemption? Is there reckoning? Yes, there is, but not through pleading, not through bending, through defiance, through refusal, through becoming so ferocious that your adversaries see not a victim in the crosshairs, but a force to be reckoned with. You are not done. You may be pushed to edges you never thought you'd touch. You may traverse darkness you never thought possible. You may feel your lungs fill with cold steel and your throat shriek against finality. But through it all, you must carry one iron kernel. You will not vanish quietly. You will not slip away in silence. You will not be the final flicker forgotten in the rush of life. You will carve your echo. Let the hitman come. Let him abide by no contracts but yours. Let him recognize that the fire you have ignited cannot be snuffed without consuming him too. Let him learn that his blade is cold, but your resolve is molten. Let him see that even in your final hours you are not a chattel. You are a storm. Do not fear pain. Do not flee it. Pain is the proof of existence. Pain is the sign that you have lived. When your body screams, let your spirit roar louder. When your limbs betray you, stand on your wounds. When your vision dims, light the fire within. Turn your torment into fuel. Let agony refine you, not break you. The stronger the assault, the more precious your victory becomes. Walk these hours as a tempest. Let the world feel the vibrations of your approach. Let your footsteps echo in corridors that hold deceit and betrayal. Let your breathing become thunder. Let your heart hammer a war drum in your chest. Let your eyes catch every shadow. Let your mind anticipate every turn. Do not slip into surprise. Be alert. Be ruthless with hesitation. Be the master of your final stage. You will look across faces you once loved, across mirrors you once cradled, across streets you once crossed. You will feel the weight of consequence, the memory of promises broken and made. You will sense ghosts of your past whispering warnings. Do not let them dictate your path. Let them fuel your fire. Let them burn as kindling. Let them show you how far you can push. Say to yourself, I am not afraid to die. I am afraid to be forgotten. Then prove it. Prove it with presence. Prove it with nerve. Prove it with every bold stride. Prove it with words spoken into the void. Prove it with choices no coward would dare make. If betrayal comes, answer with clarity. If threats loom, answer with resolve. If escape tempts you, weigh it against your mission. You do not escape to live in shadows. You are not excused by fear. You are not exonerated by suffering. Your path is forward. Your path is through. Your path is eternal in the scar you leave. In the final hours, you will confront yourself in raw, unmasked ways. The part of you that cowered, the part of you that conformed, the part of you that denied your power. Let these parts be crushed or transformed. Let them kneel before your will or burn away in the light of your core. Let the light that emerges from your bones be your last testament. This is the hour to speak your truth loud. Speak your regrets, your vengeance, your dreams, your warnings to those who would cast themselves in your crosshairs. Speak so that even in silence your voice lingers. Speak so that when the dust speaks, your words are etched in it. Speak so that the darkness hears you and trembles. You may think you have no allies. You may believe you stand alone. But in truth, you carry every triumph, every wound, every lesson you ever earned. You carry the blood of your struggles. You carry the ashes of your failures. You carry the unquenchable flame of your refusal to vanish. That is your company. That is your armor. That is your strength. Do not permit false mercy to sway you. Do not permit illusions of safety to seduce you. The clock is your jailer. Your own timidity is a traitor. The world is patient. It waits for your falter. Do not falter. You know the rules now. You know the charges. You know the sentence. You have been handed your final 24 hours. Now live them with the cruelty of grace. Live them with the clarity of steel. Live them with the breadth of someone who understands. Your end is not just an ending. It is a weapon. Let your final hours be an echo that outshouts life itself. Let your name be a crack in the silence. Let your fury be a wound carved into history. Let your defiance be more enduring than your breath. When the hitman arrives, let him meet not terror, but resolve. When he raises his gaze, let him see not a victim, but a storm unleashed. When he whispers your name, let him hear it as prophecy. When he draws his last move, let it tremble under your will. And when the hours conclude, let your departure be imprinted on the bones of the earth, not pummeled into oblivion. You have been dealt your hand. You have sounded the alarm. You have awakened the retired hitman. The world expects your collapse. Expectation feeds on weakness. Starve it. Feed it your defiance. Starve it with your audacity. Let your final hours teach the world a brutal lesson. You are not a footnote. You are a reckoning. Now stand. Stand in the void. Stand facing fate. Stand with fire in your lungs and ice in your resolve. Your final 24 hours have begun. Go. Let the world tremble at what you do with them. There is a silence that comes before storms, a kind of stillness that holds its breath. That's what this moment is. You can feel it around you now, the air itself heavy with what is coming, heavy with choices you haven't yet made, heavy with eyes you cannot see, but that are watching. The retired hitman isn't a man anymore. He's a consequence given form. You awakened him because something in you wanted this confrontation. Deep down, some part of you knew it would take a force like this to draw out the truth of who you are. You don't find out what's inside you when the sky is clear. You find out when the storm bears down on you, and everything you love is tested. And so, here you stand, in your final 24 hours, and what you do with them will echo far beyond these walls, far beyond these streets, far beyond this ticking clock. The hitman isn't only your enemy, he's your mirror. He's the reflection of every act you've taken, every word you've spoken, every line you've crossed. He is the weight of everything you tried to outrun. And now he walks toward you, silent, certain, unstoppable. But what you do in these hours, how you breathe, how you move, how you think, will decide what kind of legend is carved from your bones. When people tell stories about monsters, they forget something. Monsters aren't born in the shadows. They're forged in fire. They're shaped by pain, discipline, and resolve. They're built by people who refused to break when life tried to shatter them. The hitman says, "I'm the monster they warned you about." And he's right. But hear this. Being warned about a monster doesn't make you weak. It prepares you. It steels you. It gives you the chance to become more than a target. It gives you the chance to become the kind of force the monster didn't expect. Every second from here on out must be deliberate. Every movement you make is a statement. This isn't a time for trembling hands or second thoughts. This is the time for clarity sharper than glass. This is the time to move like the shadows themselves. Silent, controlled, inevitable. Even fear can be fuel now. Even doubt can become a weapon. Every instinct inside you is trying to wake up, to rise, to roar. Let it. Let your senses stretch out past the horizon. Let your pulse slow until you can hear the space between your heartbeats. Let every breath become a vow. I will not die faceless. I will not go quietly. I will meet the monster with open eyes. It doesn't matter how deep the darkness becomes if you decide to walk through it with your own fire. The world will whisper that it's over, that you're finished, that you can't win. Ignore it. They're not the ones who have lived your life. They're not the ones who know what you've endured, what you've learned, what you've built inside yourself in the quiet places. They don't know the storms you've already survived. They don't know that even in this moment, you're not just preparing for an end, you're preparing for a transformation. Because when you are stripped of everything, time, safety, certainty, what's left is your raw essence, your truest self, the self that doesn't answer to fear or comfort, the self that doesn't flinch when stared down, the self that understands this. No matter how powerful the monster, no matter how unstoppable the force, no matter how final the countdown, the human will is a fire that can outshine anything if you let it burn hot enough. So, let it burn. Burn with purpose. Burn with courage. Burn with the kind of intensity that makes even the darkness hesitate. This isn't about survival anymore. This is about declaration. This is about making the last hours so bright, so relentless, so unforgettable, that even the retired hitman will know he awoke something far greater than himself. This is about leaving a mark that outlives fear. This is about becoming a warning yourself. I am not the one to be hunted. I am not the one to be forgotten. I am the storm they never saw coming. The clock ticks, the air shifts, the footsteps draw nearer. The legend breathes its first breath inside you. You can almost hear it, can't you? That low rumble in your chest, that rhythm building behind your ribs. It's not terror, it's not despair, it's the sound of your resolve hardening, your spirit sharpening, your life condensing into something too intense to break. Let the hitman speak his last words. Let him call himself the monster they warned you about. Let him draw every weapon he knows. Because in this moment, you're not just a name on his list. You're not just a shadow in his scope. You are the one who stands in the open and says, I see you, I hear you, and I will not bow. That's what these final hours are. They're not a countdown to your end. They're a countdown to your becoming. The retired hitman thinks he's closing a chapter. He doesn't realize he's about to open a legend. And that legend begins with you standing right here, refusing to go quietly, choosing instead to step forward into the darkness and make it yours. This is your last day. Make it your loudest day. Make it the day they remember. Make it the day when even the monster learned what it means to face someone who will not break. You see the hours slipping through your hands now like dust. But they are not wasted unless you choose to waste them. Time is not your enemy. it is your forge. You have 24 hours, not to hide, not to mourn, not to run, but to define your legend. Every second is a chance to show the world that you are not prey. You are not the hunted. You are not the collateral damage in someone else's story. You are the pivot, the turning point, the chapter the story bleeds over. The reason everything before now becomes irrelevant, and everything after this will be rewritten in your shadow. You think you've seen what you're capable of? You haven't even scratched the surface. You've coasted through life half asleep, pulled back by doubt, by fear, by politeness, by comfort. But comfort is the chain, fear is the leash. And now they've been cut. Now you've been cornered. Now your name has been etched into the crosshairs of something ancient, something brutal. And still, you stand. Do you feel that? That quiet beneath the chaos? That silence inside you that isn't fear? It's focus. It's your instincts shedding their skin. It's your blood learning how to howl again. It's everything you suppressed rising to the surface. And in that moment, clarity is born. Not the kind that makes you gentle, the kind that makes you unbreakable. They expect you to fold, to kneel, to run, to beg. They don't expect you to rise, but you will. You already are. Because this is what happens when fire is pushed into a corner. It explodes. Let this hitman come. Let him carry the weight of every shadow, every contract, every reputation. Let him bring the legends. Let him wear the mask of inevitability. Because you're not afraid of reputation. You're not afraid of ghosts. You're not afraid of monsters. You've met worse, inside yourself. And here's the truth they never tell you. Monsters don't just hunt. Monsters aren't just born. Sometimes monsters are made from the people who were pushed too far, from the ones who stayed quiet too long, from the ones who kept enduring until endurance turned into something feral. And now you're not running. Now you're not asking why. Now you're ready to become something that cannot be caged, cannot be erased, cannot be ignored. You are not here to survive this night. You are here to define it. There are going to be moments when your breath will catch in your chest, when your legs will tremble from the weight of your choices, when everything in your mind will scream for comfort, for safety, for a way out. That is when you lean in. That is when you double down. That is when you remember this truth. Comfort has never made legends. Safety has never forged steel. And fear is just a signal that greatness is nearby. You want to know how you outlast a monster? You look it in the eyes. You don't blink. You don't flinch. You don't look away when it snarls. You stare back until it sees what it woke up. You don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to be the fastest. You just have to be the last one standing. And in these final hours, you will be. Because this isn't just survival anymore. This is resurrection. You've been buried by doubt, buried by time, buried by your past. But in the ashes of all that, you are rising, you are forging, you are awakening. Not the version of you the world molded, the real one. The one made of iron will and raw spirit. The one who doesn't need applause. The one who doesn't need permission. The one who was never meant to be tamed. You were never designed for a quiet ending. You were built for a final stand. And now, here it is. Let the wind scream. Let the world watch. Let time run out. Because even when the countdown ends, you won't. They will speak your name in hushed tones, not because you vanished, but because your presence changed the temperature of every room you ever stood in. Because when the monster arrived, it didn't find a victim. It found a reckoning. This is not vengeance. This is not violence for the sake of it. This is clarity. This is consequence. This is what happens when the storm they feared becomes the storm that walks. This is what happens when you stop asking for permission to be powerful. You want motivation? Then understand this. Your life was never meant to be soft. It was meant to be meaningful.